Listen, you know, when I was growing up, I was probably about 8 years old, and at the time, we were living in Silver Spring. Yeah. Yes. Common misconception about me in D.C. A lot of people think I'm from the hood. That's not true. But I never bothered to correct anybody because I wanted the streets to embrace me. As a matter of fact, I kept it up as a ruse. Like sometimes I'll hang out with rappers like Nas and them, and these motherfuckers will start talking about the projects. Yo, it was wild in the PJs, yo. And I'll be like, word, nigga, word. But I don't know. I have no idea. My parents did just well enough so that I could grow up poor around white people. And to be honest, when Nas and them talk about the projects, nigga, I used to get jealous because it sounded fun. Everybody in the projects was poor, and that's fair. But if you were poor in Silver Spring, nigga, it felt like it was only happening to you. I know the pain of that first sleepover at a white friend's house. And you come back home on Sunday and just look at your parents like, y'all need to step your game up. Everything at Timmy's house works. Remember the first time you saw that? In a cold winter, and you'd be at a white friend's house and see the motherfuckers in their living room without their coats on? Timmy was one of my first white friends, like, in my life, man. He's a good dude, too. He moved to Silver Spring from Utah, of all places. I guess his family was affiliated with that Mormon church they got down there, and me and him used to hang out. And one day I was at his house, we were just hanging out, and Timmy says, Dave, why don't you stay for dinner tonight? I said, oh, man, I'd love to, but I can't. If I'm not home before dark, my mother will kill me. That was a lie. My mother had several jobs. I hadn't seen her in like 3 or 4 days. At that point in my life, it was my experience that white dinner wasn't delicious. I'd rather go home and fry some bologna or some shit like that. But then old Timmy threw me a curveball I wasn't expecting. He said, oh, it's too bad you can't stay, Dave, because Mom made stovetop stuffing. I said, what the fuck, stovetop? Well, hold on, nigga, let me make some phone calls real quick. I had seen that commercial so many times, I had dreamt of getting my hands on some of that stovetop stuffing. And finally, I met a motherfucker that actually had a box of stovetop in the house. I couldn't miss this opportunity, so I pretended to call my mother. And then I came back and I said, Timmy, you're not gonna believe this great news. Mom said I can stay. And he said, fantastic. He said, why don't you come with me and we'll help set the table and then we can say the blessing. I had no interest in setting this motherfucker's table or saying these crazy ass Mormon prayers. I just wanted that goddamn stuffing. My hands first. My plan was simple. Wash my hands slowly, and by the time I'm done, the table will be set, the blessing will be said, and all that there will be left to do is eat. Went to the bathroom. I washed my hands very slowly. I must have been in there for about 10 minutes. And suddenly, one of his mothers came to the door. She was like, hi, David, right? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, Timmy tells me that you're planning on staying for dinner. I said, I hope that's not a problem, ma'am. She says, no, it's no problem. In fact, we'd love to have you. It's just that we weren't expecting company. And I'm afraid there's not enough stovetop stuffing for everybody. So I kicked her in the pussy. Bam! Ladies and gentlemen, I told you I'm dope, nigga. I told you what I was gonna say and you still didn't see it coming. And that's why I make the big bucks. Oh my God. But there's a more important reason that I would stop doing comedy right now. And this reason is the real reason that's been percolating, and it really is the crowd, not you. I'm talking about the crowd on the big stage. It's too hard to entertain a country whose ears are so brittle. Motherfuckers are so sensitive, the whole country is turned into bitch-ass niggas. Everything you say upsets somebody. You know, I can remember when it all started. It was when I was doing Chappelle show. When I was doing Chappelle show, I used to do the show, and then on the weekends I do like concerts and shit like that. So I'm doing a concert, and there was a couple in the front row, beautiful couple. The wife was obviously Asian. You could see it in her face. The husband, this motherfucker was mysterious, to say the least. Couldn't quite pinpoint where he was from. Caramel-colored fella, very nice hair, but he could have been from anywhere. Bangladesh, Mexico. I can't guess with a nigga like this. All I knew for sure about this guy is that his wife was a bitch. I could see that in her face, too. No, he was laughing and having a good time, and she was scowling at me at a goddamn comedy show. I couldn't figure it out. And then I realized at some point that she was pregnant, and I was smoking on stage. I said, oh my God, that's probably why she's mad. So I started to put my cigarette out, but then she hit me with one of them fake non-smoker calls. So I just kept smoking. I thought to myself, bitch, that babe will be fine, relax. And I tried to break the tension. I just asked her, that's all I said. I go, hey, where are you guys from anyway? And I could tell that she was on to me. She goes, very condescendingly, she says, I'm from California. If you're asking my ethnicity, I am Chinese. He was like, I'm Mexican, bro. I said, well, I'm sorry if I offended you by asking, but you're a very beautiful couple. And miss, there's no question that you're gonna give birth to the hardest working baby this world has ever seen. That's not a bad joke. She got very upset. She got up to leave immediately, but she didn't just leave. She had to take one last dig at me on the way out. I will never buy one of your fucking DVDs again, Dave Chappelle. I said, ma'am, with all due respect, Chinese people don't buy DVDs. And the crowd went crazy. We were all laughing, having a good time. I didn't even think anything of it. And then just 3 days later, this lady sends a fucking letter to my promoter telling him not to book me for shows anymore because I was, quote, racist, and I'm quoting her, insensitive to the nature of my interracial marriage. I was like, word, bitch, I was. If she would know that I myself am in an interracial marriage. That's right. In fact, my wife is Asian too. Surprise, bitch, I'll see you on Thanksgiving. But my wife's not Chinese. She's Filipino. That's right, that's right. And our kids are Puerto Rican somehow, so there you go. But I don't give a fuck about interracial marriage. In fact, you know what? My mother is half white. A lot of people don't know that. Well, all right, you were a little too excited, but okay. A lot of people don't believe me when I say that, but it's true. You can't tell looking at me, but if I grew my hair out, you would think you was at a fucking Cat Williams concert. My shit is beautiful.
I didn't even know they were saying those things about me. Then I call home, and people be like, oh my God, are you all right? Yeah, chill, I'm in Africa, baby, what's going on? And then I got a call from a journalist that had been working on a story, and he was like, yeah, rumor mill's going on about you. Just want to clear a few things up. And I'm like, yeah, what's going on? Okay, do you smoke crack? I said, what? Do you smoke crack? Did you graduate from high school? I mean, it was all these crazy questions. And I thought about never coming back. I said, this place is crazy. Like, I'm that dude. I just thought about all the things that celebrities go through and what celebrities become in our culture. You know, if you Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston and your marriage is breaking up, that's an awful thing. But to see that speculation in people gotta sting a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I realized, oh my God, I'm one of those people. That's a small club, man. That's a weird place to be. Ain't really no going back. You can't get unfamous. You can get infamous. Right. But you can't get unfamous.
Right.
So I got scared. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I was scared to death. And I didn't touch the mic. This past year, I did the least stand-up I've done since I started. 'Cause I was freaked out, man, with the fame thing and being called crazy and drug addict and all these things. Scared me. You know, being treated that way. Like I'm not a person anymore. You say this shit about me in front of my children, and you know, who the f do these people think they are? And they don't know what happened. You know, I have not spoken about what would make a person walk off the set of a successful show and go to Africa. But again, people don't understand it, so they call me crazy, and I don't like that. One of these magazines, Newsweek, it's a very credible magazine, and they're saying, you know, maybe I smoke crack, and it was all innuendo, and the magazine as credible as Newsweek. I was very surprised that this was happening. And then I got to make some real choices, man. Is that what I want for myself? Did I get too big? Because I like people. I like entertaining. And the higher up I go, for some reason, the less happy I am. You know, is it going to get to the point where I'm doing a striptease on TRL or waving a gun on the street, saying they're trying to kill me? No, I'm not going to let it get to that point. I'm going to go to Africa. I'm going to find a way to be myself, man. I gotta, you know, I'm an artist, man. I don't need a sneaker deal. I mean, I'd like one, but there's only 6 studios, man. There's only 6 agencies, man. This is a small, controlled thing, and I don't like having to beg for the spotlight, man. You know, the machine is good for us, and we good for the machine, and it should be fair, man. Martin had a stroke. He almost died. And then after that, I saw him, and I was like, oh my God, Martin, are you okay? And he said, I got the best sleep I ever got in my life. That's how tough he is. So let me ask you this. What is happening in Hollywood that a guy that tough will be on the street waving a gun, screaming, they are trying to kill me?
Yeah.
What's going on? Why is Dave Chappelle going to Africa? Why does Mariah Carey make a $100 million deal and take her clothes off on TRL? A weak person cannot get to sit here and talk to you. Ain't no weak people talking to you. So what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows. The worst thing to call somebody is crazy, is dismissive. I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. That's bullshit. These people are not crazy. They're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick.
Rap. I don't want nobody telling me what to do.
Yeah.
Don't tell me how to blow my horn. Rap. I don't want nobody telling me what to do. Yeah. Don't tell me how to rap. I don't want nobody telling me what to do. Yeah. Don't tell me how to blow my horn. Rap. Rap.
Heard it's great. No, for real. Mel Gibson told me, so you gotta go. I've never met Mel Gibson. So, huh? Mel Gibson is an incredible filmmaker, and he's the only guy that beat the American media machine. It's a very difficult fight. I've tried it, and I lost. Oh no, they'll whoop you good. You can't even bug the system just a little bit. Look at Britney. Britney Spears just wanted to have a couple babies. Look what they did to that girl. Fucking awful, man. She had to shave her head, just take the heat off her pussy for a minute. I mean, it was like all that shit happened to her. Some people know how to beat it. The politicians, they can beat that shit because they get caught. Remember Gavin Newsom, he's the mayor of San Fran, right? So he gets caught fucking his campaign manager's wife. They was like doing blow and all that shit. It's pretty old. I like Gavin Newsom though. That's fucked up. You know what I mean? It was just campaign man. His whole job was to be like, this guy right here is a hell of a guy. So it's a pretty dirty dog, right? So, but he got away with it. He's still like Teflon politician. And you know what he did? Check himself into rehab. That's the move in America. I don't know what it's like in Britain, but in America, it's secret celebrity system. Rehab is base. For regular people, that's like you got to go there and get better and shit. But in the media style, like yourself, the San Francisco Mirror, Gavin Newsom, base nigga, I'm in rehab. Woo! 60 days. I got 60 days. I don't want to hear it. And I didn't know about rehab when the media got me, and they hit me with the crackhead rumor. That shit was fucked up. And I'm a skinny black dude. I can't defend myself. It's hard, people just believe that shit. It's very hard to defend yourself from them. Who else got in trouble? They get everybody. Elliot Spitzer. I actually like Elliot Spitzer, too. I got a lot to say about that. I should just, come on, man. Can't anybody, am I the only one that can you see the codes, Sherrod? You see the codes. You see the codes, right? It's always about something. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you actually understand what I'm saying?
They all play that same game.
It's not Elliot Spitzer, though. It's a dirty-ass system.
Right.
Everybody gets in trouble, but not for the same kind of reasons. I can't explain it. It's a very big idea, and I don't know how to distill it without sounding like a crazy conspiracy nut. But it's not a conspiracy. It's an actual fact. You ever read this thing about Lincoln and Kennedy? Somewhere on the internet, you'll find it. It's a list of similarities between, like, you know what I mean? Like Abraham Lincoln's secretary's last name was Kennedy. Kennedy's secretary's last name was Lincoln. I used to be an usher at Ford's Theater where Lincoln got shot when I was in high school. I had nothing to do with the murder. But I just paid attention to these types of things. You know what I mean? Like the way they be trying to roll Barack over like he's Martin Luther King. That's a complete media phenomenon. I didn't draw that line. Martin Luther King was not an elected official. He wasn't. He was a chosen official, but he was not an elected official. That's the difference. Someone sees a young preacher this charismatic, they say, you know what, this guy could actually lead our movement. And at first they asked him, he said, I don't want to do it. They said, why don't you want to do it? Because I'm 22, bitch, I'm getting pussy, I'm having fun. But then eventually he's going to understand like this movement is bigger than him and yet may not have been the same movement without just that one individual. Now, okay, here comes Barack. Barack runs and It was just, that shit happens. You know what I mean? Can't explain it. Yes, I can. Barack runs against John McCain, right? Barack's campaign song is Stevie Wonder's Sign Seal Delivered, I'm Yours, right? Stevie Wonder sponsors a bill for the Martin Luther King holiday. John McCain is from the only state that refused the Martin Luther King holiday, the state of Arizona. Anyway, the point is, it's the same shit with all these people. Elliot Spitzer. Elliot Spitzer, how could he go to a call girl after he was busting prostitution rings in New York? I'll tell you how. Because he was the fucking attorney general. If you're the attorney general and someone puts a docket on your desk, he can't be like, I can't bust these people. I buy pussy. He just has to go and prosecute the case. That's his job. He wins cases. Of course, he's going to have political aspirations because he was good at what he did. And then Nas, remember when Nas went crazy on the radio and he said, Hot 97 is taking money to play these records and da-da-da-da-da. And everyone was like, Nas is insane. And Elliot Spitzer was like, I'm going to look into that. And Elliot Spitzer went in there and he was like, hey, these guys are taking payola. And they fucking ended the practice, the age-old practice of payola in radio. And then years later, he's going to get busted at the fucking Mayflower Hotel in Washington, D.C. buying pussy. Let me tell you something. I'm from D.C. Do you know Mayflower Hotel? That's where Marion Barry was smoking crack while he was fucking a girl that wasn't supposed to be. The point is this. Getting caught with a call girl at the Mayflower Hotel is like getting caught with a cheeseburger at McDonald's. Nigga, that is where you're supposed to do those kinds of things. And then the girl comes out with a MySpace page and she's like, oh, the reason I was sucking all these dicks is because I was trying to work on my music career. I'm a musician. I said a magician. She said musician, but I heard magician. Ladies and gentlemen, for my next trick, I'm going to suck a record contract out of an attorney general's dick. Ta-da, same label as Knots. And you know what's so crazy about that shit? Which brings me back to the whole thing I was saying in the first place, is that Elliot Spitzer was going to get prosecuted under the Mann Act. And that says it all. You know the Mann Act? The Mann Act? The Mann Act. Sherrod, you don't know the Mann Act? No. You better know. In your line of work, you need to know these things. The Mann Act is the law that says it's illegal to take a girl across state lines for purposes of debauchery. The Mann Act was written to get one man, and that man was Jack motherfucking Johnson, the first black heavyweight champion of the world. He used to beat the shit out of white men and leave the arena with white women in the 20s. It was amazing. He fucked the whole Matrix up. When Jack Johnson won the world championship, he chased the white champion. Back then, white champions would be like, I don't fight black people. It's beneath me. But really, they were scared to death. Jack Johnson was huge. And you seen them old tapes in them boxes. Them motherfuckers had that style like this. Jack Johnson moved like a modern person. You know, these motherfuckers, if I had a time machine, I could be the heavyweight champion in the world. Is this motherfucker pointing his fist at himself? I beat the shit out of these guys. It was amazing. I mean, if you watch some of these Jack Johnson, because back then, you know, they wasn't the same fight regulations. He would whoop their ass for hours. This was before cable television and all that shit. Them just bop, 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 ew! And it was fucking amazing. And then he would leave the arena and he would openly have sex with white women all the time. Now, you think he would get persecuted for that, but they never touched him. Because the heavyweight champion of the world is the most prestigious title in sports. Period. You know who suffered for that? The white women. One killed herself. I mean, they fucking ostracized these women like you wouldn't believe. Just cut them off from everything they knew and loved for fucking around with Jack Johnson. And then they couldn't stop Jack Johnson. The headline of the paper say, Jack Johnson is it. They chased this nigga around. They made the Mann Act. He had to flee the country. He was living in exile, couldn't fight anymore. When Muhammad Ali saw Jack Johnson's story on Broadway, he said, that is my story. If you change white women to Islam, he said, that is my story, right? Jack Johnson just got pardoned in 2005. Do you know who sponsored that bill? John McCain. Wow. Cleaning up from that Martin Luther King shit. I'm telling you, it's all fucking connected. It's a very flimsy system of pseudo or false morality. Is anybody in here gay? Get her! No, it's good. I'm totally joking. This is New York. Are you gay for real? Okay, so you know that gay marriage is illegal, right? Why do you think that that's illegal?
People suck. I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that.
Do you even care about marriage?
Yeah, I want to get married. Eventually. It's really
to a girl or a guy?
Girl.
Just checking. Why do you think it's illegal?
People are scared of change.
Do you think so? Morality. Who said morality? You think so? I don't. Whose morality? Who said big business? She knows what's going on. Huh? Hmm? Yeah?
Even kids get married, they're going to wake up to the reality of problems of marriage just like everybody else.
And that's all good and well. You see, here's the thing. No matter what your morality is, it's still a secular society. So even if gay marriage is against my own personal beliefs, I can't necessarily believe a government that would say we don't want to do that for moral purposes. Not while you fucking bombing Iraq like that, or sending motherfuckers to Afghanistan like that. I mean, you can't be hitting me with all this dubious ass morality. They say morality because that's what their constituents need to hear, and because they think that's what their constituents want to hear. But honestly, Bill Clinton said 90% of the shit that people talk about has nothing to do with what the actual job of the president is about. You think the president be sitting around, what time is it, 10 o'clock? Oh, we got that gay meeting. Hey, guys, what are we going to do about that? I mean, they don't give a fuck about it. No, who actually is going to give a fuck? Big business. And I have a whole belief system about that you just don't want to know about. I'll tell you part of it. All right, it's a tiered, listen, marriage laws are fucked up in America. I don't think that the government should have that much say in actually how people devise a marriage, because a marriage, right, devoid of any kind of religious belief or emotion like love is a business contract, period and simple. And tons of people in Washington or legislative bodies, even guys like Elliot Spitzer that have wives or fuck prostitutes, live in loveless marriages. And they have these shits arranged because they're in such a high social stratosphere that they have to keep up a certain appearance. So why are they imprisoned by their own marriage? It's this form of economic slavery. And if you look at the way this shit happens, corporations were made legal in the United States by the 14th Amendment, right? Or 15th Amendment, which freed the slaves. And then under those rights, people said, we want the same rights as those motherfuckers as collective individuals, right? And if you're a collective individual and two collective individuals want to do business with one another, one's masculine, one is feminine, so they define a marriage institution between man and woman. But what if corporations is gay? I'm just saying. What if Aunt Jemima doesn't want to be with Uncle Ben? What if Aunt Jemima wants to do business with Sarah Lee? Well, wait a minute. What if Uncle Ben wants to do business with Mr. Clean? That's all I'm saying. Guys, wait a minute. That's a little gay. I'm sorry, I thought that was funny. What if Aunt Jemima? I don't think that's what Mr. Clean was. Uncle Ben wouldn't do this. Maybe I should have picked different companies. I put myself in a bad position. I'm just joking around. You're like, we don't want to hear this shit. It's just a conspiracy theory. I believe in aliens too, bitch. How about that?
They're coming! Gay aliens, they're here! All that shit, fake. World Trade Center, fake! You wanna know who blew that shit up for real? I ain't gonna say that. But you know, it's my own personal thing. I don't even want to say that shit. Yeah. You know who I think blew up the World Trade Center? Ashton Kutcher. America, you have been punked. Fake. Why did he blow up the World Trade Center? I don't want to sound like a cynic. Shit was crazy. I don't know the truth, but I know who does. Strippers. They know everything. Does anyone have a cigarette?
Yeah.
Sure. Good on you, mate. I wish I had it. Your accents are so nice. Huh? And I do listen to BBC News. We all listen to the BBC. You're all listening to the BBC. That's what they say all the time. GMT. Oh, every time you say what time it is, it goes GMT. What does that mean? Whose mountain? Greenwich. Oh. It's the center. Oh, okay. Meantime. Greenwich Mean Time. Is that where the phrase meantime comes from? Wow, you can tell that your country conquered a lot of shit, man. It's Greenwich Mean Time. I learn shit every day. It's Greenwich Mean Time. Have you ever heard that before? Yeah, bro, you ever heard that before?
Yeah, I've heard it.
Oh, you're from Ireland, though.
Like, bang on down the middle of London, pretty much. The
You,
line.
Greenwich Mean Time?
The line.
What's so mean about it?
It's the timeline.
It's a time. Oh, okay.
Like it's 0 degrees.
Okay. You ever seen a guy's mind stretch?
I might buy for it. Like in the 24 hours, like 0, 0, like, you know.
Oh, I don't do that 24-hour clock shit. I hate that shit. It's 1500 o'clock. 1500.
What do you got moved here? I'd like to make life easy. Got blocks.
No, I don't like that shit. That's when it's good to have them strippers around. Strippers are like the Google of the streets. Never seen somebody answer so many questions without a crystal ball. It's true. It's amazing. Skill sets. Girls be here. I'm an accountant. I'm a dog trainer. Every goddamn thing. It's amazing. All right, it was something hilarious though. All this shit is depressing. Ashton Kutcher didn't blow up those buildings, by the way. I don't want you to think. I'm not gonna put that on him. Huh? American people. American person is one of the most lied to people in the world. That's our whole game with America. Because freedom is not a privilege, my friend. It is a fucking burden. Because a free person has to make choices all the time. And you can't make a good choice
unless you have the information. And in America, it's not like China. You know in China when they had the earthquakes, you know what the headline was in the newspaper? What earthquake? They don't tell those people shit. In America, they'll tell you every goddamn thing, and then they don't prioritize the information. You gotta figure all that shit out for yourself. That's right. The war will be breaking out, and you'll be like, did Michael Jackson fuck them kids? That gets shuffled funny. Because we live in the age of spin. You got to be so smart to live nowadays in the age of spin. You watch the news, that's not an absolute truth. That is a version of the truth. People tune into the version of the truth that makes them feel more comfortable. Sometimes I watch CNN and I be feeling bad and I turn to Fox. Like, phew, we're winning again. You got to just switch frequencies. That shit is not the truth. All the time. They'll tell you the truth, man. That shit, man. That's why I like Anderson Cooper, because you can tell when he doesn't believe the story he's reading. It's just like... I just work here, Dave. I don't know. There's something to that. It's not that. You know what it is about the age of spin? Because they play so much words, I don't even know what the fuck anybody's talking about anymore. How can you actually know? How can you make a decision? It's like, you know what I mean? The way that we, like, okay, Planned Parenthood, right? Planned Parenthood is actually for abortions. It's for people who didn't plan shit out. So you don't know if you're pro-choice or you're anti-consequences. The whole shit is... If you think about them shits long enough, you'll go fucking crazy. And that's when you gotta find a stripper and be like, bitch, explain this to me. You know the dark side. Semantics. Man. I know. All right, I should get out of here. I'm freaking myself out. And I'm hungry. And I just got here. And then I was like, I got in the car and said, take me to the comedy club. And that's how I got here. I don't know. Like, what happened with you guys? You guys just decide, like, how do you decide to come here? Like, you two guys right here. I mean, literally, I look at you guys, I can't imagine what your story is, but I know you, like, okay, how old are you guys? 19. You're 19, of course. They're too young to drink, but they just the right age to have a great ass time. I have been 19. I can't even fucking explain what that was like. It's great. I mean, I'm surprised. I mean, you know, I remember what it was like for me. I don't know what. How can I explain what 19 was? How can you have a good time? Oh, that's right. You are Australian. You can have a good time without drinking, can't you? You have a great time without drinking. I do it all the time. I was in Saudi Arabia. I didn't drink a drop the whole time I was there. And I had a blast. Dave, what'd you do for fun in Saudi Arabia? Well, I drove an Escalade with 16-cent gas. That shit was fucking great. Drove that motherfucker in circles. What oil problem? You gotta see it to believe it in Saudi. That motherfucker. There is no gas station. You just roll out. Time to roll. That shit was great. I went to Dubai. You ever been in this place, Dubai? How is it? Well, have you ever seen the movie Blade Runner? It's like that, but sunny, with no robots or problems. Oh, it was fucking great. And there's so much, they building shit like you wouldn't. I mean, that shit look like Legoland. That shit is amazing. I'm not exaggerating. I seen a billboard. We driving down Sheikh Mohammed Highway, whatever it is. They got a billboard on the side of the highway. it say, "We will build your skyscraper." I said, "Who the fuck is that for?" Like, who's gonna pull up like, "Oh, let me get this number. I've been looking for somebody to build my skyscraper." Yes, could you erect a skyscraper for me? I saw your billboard. We're busy. I mean, I'm not even exaggerating. When I was there, they had 212 skyscrapers in production. If you can imagine what that looks like. 212. You know those big construction cranes? Half of all those cranes that exist on Earth was in that city, building 212 skyscrapers. That would be like if somebody said, "I'm going to build Manhattan in the next 8 months." That's what's happening on planet Earth today. And another 45 minutes probably. They're all taking a break. And by they all, I mean the Pakistanis and Bengalis. That's what's building this thing. Everything has a soft underbelly. Yes, where else have I been? You guys are British, so you've been everywhere. I don't care how obscure a place is. I've never gone someplace and not seen a British person. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. I was in Asia. I went to the Philippines. Who said that? Oh, you're Filipino? Oh, what's the other half? You're not gonna believe it. No, my wife is Filipina. Yeah, and my kids, you know, are Puerto Rican somehow. I don't know how that happened, but I guess when we get together, we make Latinos together. They've never even been to Puerto Rico. Why'd I bring it up? Oh, I'll tell you what. Have you ever been to the Philippines before? Okay, I went there, and I like the Philippines. I was actually, you know, I did not enjoy the poverty. I shouldn't even bring this up. I'd say it if Sherrod was here. It's the kind of thing, it's like, you know, when you're a comedian and you see something horrible, you should just only tell other comedians about that. Because everyone else is going to, you know, like, we had that worldview. I'll tell you, because you're a comedian, all right. It's not funny at all. I'll tell you, it wasn't funny when I saw it. I'll tell you when it was funny. Okay, so we're driving down the street in the Philippines. It was like urban area. Now, I don't know if you've ever been to Asia. Traffic, not so good. As a matter of fact, it's horrendous traffic. Small, you know, it's somewhat chaotic. For me, for my American standards. Excuse me, everybody. Whatever. Okay, you've seen hood movies, you picture bad neighborhoods, you've heard all these things, but you got to see, you know, real poverty. Like when an American sees it, you can't help but be like, holy shit. Okay, so we made a couple turns trying to get out of traffic, and then we turned into like, it was like the real world, real poverty. What do I mean by real poverty? Well, there were tons of things that I saw in that instant. Like we turned a corner and all of a sudden it was like, I've never seen any of this shit before in my life. One of the things was, because it was an urban setting, you have to imagine it's a city, but there was a guy and he was, it wasn't funny to me, this was not my initial reaction. And I need to tell you that, but you're a comedian, so please look at it with those glasses. This is like that Kramer moment I was so worried about. Okay, we turned the corner and there was a guy, he's walking, and he had no clothes on, right? Now, that shit could happen in New York, but the way he was walking was like he didn't have no clothes anywhere. Like, it wasn't like he was walking to some clothes he had. He was just walking like, I'm naked, B. So like, I know, now, it wasn't funny to me at all. My kids were in the back. They were like, oh, shit. Like, you know, they're like 5 and 8. Oh! Like, all right, so now, their reaction to it, maybe, well, that's just because they're kids. And I remember what it's like being a kid. And he was naked, man, in the city. And all right. So I explained to the kids, listen, guys, you know, this is what the world is like. There's people out here don't have da-da-da-da-da, you know. There's grandmothers from there. She's explained to her mom. We all explained to her. The kids like, oh, Oh, snap, okay. So then we come back to America. It's like 8 days later. And we split up. Kids go back to Ohio. I said, I got to go to LA, take care of some business. I went to Hollywood for a minute. And then my wife calls me up and she says, and she's crying. I go, what's going on? She goes, she did it. I said, who did what? She's like, Manny Pacquiao. He won. And I said, oh, that's fucking great. You know, this happy. She said, finally, you know what I mean? People feel a lot of pride when Manny Pacquiao won. And it was kind of touching the way she felt. And then she said, he's going to give his money to the poor. And then I say to my wife, and this one was funny, I hope he buys that guy some pants or something. And she felt out like, but it was funny because it was weeks later and it was an emotional moment and it was so emotional. I felt a little uncomfortable, so I just had to throw a little joke in there about the guy who saw with no pants. As a matter of fact, this show is dedicated to that guy. The show is to the guy. Not just my set. I'm dedicating all you guys to shows. It's uncomfortable. I really didn't have anything to talk about. Oh, hey, thanks. See that Barack was right. We can do this. It's going to be great. America's going to be great again. You'll all see. Because I don't even, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. Like, this is the first time I really voted. As I was an Ohio voter, so I said this might be important. And as soon as I walked into the polling place, you know what they said? Barack's got another one. And I said, and I was, you know, I mean, why are you going to assume that I'm going to vote for Barack just because I'm black? Because I'm also rich. Maybe I don't want my taxes to go up. I mean, that's just my luck. As soon as I get some money, that's when it's like, we get a black president, like, come on, Dave, let's be responsible. all right, Barack, all right. No, I'm glad to do it. They just raised my taxes. This is going to healthcare. I'm glad to do it. You know why? Because Americans should be allowed to be sick if they need to be. I hope you have a good trip here. Do not get sick in this motherfucker or you are doomed. We don't even give a fuck about our own citizens. You think we're going to help you? We have that Lords of London on you. We don't give a fuck. You got to pay China back. And I've been to China. And I saw the Great Wall of China. Have you seen it yet? Anybody here seen the Great Wall? Anyone? You've been to China? Are you Chinese?
No, Korean.
Oh, man, you must have been so jealous. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. You guys got the demilitarized zone. That's great. I mean, what do you call it? What do you guys got in Korea? The DMZ, right? The something parallel. 45th parallel. It's a thin layer of America protecting you. I'm just kidding. Did you like the Great Wall?
I did.
It was amazing, wasn't it? Yeah. You know why? Because it's the largest man-made object on Earth. That's what they said. And she claimed, the tour guide, that it's the only man-made object visible from space. I have yet to confirm that. I'm still getting my space money together. But it was amazing, right? I personally was amazed. Because I didn't know that ancient Chinese people actually had, Mexicans like that. I'm not saying Mexicans built that wall. I'm saying Chinese built that wall to keep Mexicans out of China. That's a very advanced culture. America didn't think of that till 5 years ago. I was kidding. Well, did I make that up? I'm sorry. I thought we were going to build something in Texas. Was that me? Oh, no, that wasn't my idea, was it? All right, that was an easy joke, and it was wrong. And you know what? Yeah. You know, if I was the king of the world, though, honestly, I would give illegal immigrants just enough legal status so that they could at least get a driver's license, and you know what I mean, call the police if there's something happening. You know what I mean? If you're illegal, you can't even call the police. You know how much crazy shit? Look, I don't even want to talk. It's not. Listen, I'm gonna finish up right now. This is it. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, you seen the paper, right? I shouldn't even bring this up because it's not funny, but it's just an illustration of where things are headed. And you know, there's a high incidence of violence in America, right? And violent crimes and all these like extraordinary crimes you read about. And I personally believe that the reason these crimes happen is because our paper chase is so volatile that something about America is criminal to be poor. Like, you know, make you feel bad, so bad it's like you got to do something to steal. Something very desperate about our paper chase, just culturally. I'm not blaming the government. I'm not blaming, but it's just evolved into that. Now, so I read them sometimes. These horrific crimes will happen in Houston, Texas. There was a serial rapist, which rape, by the way, is never funny ever. And the only reason I bring this particular rapist up is because all his victims were men. I'm not joking. 7 men. So you can't YouTube this. This is really 7 men in the Houston area came forward and reported this guy, which means he must have raped thousands. Because that is a very difficult phone call for a man to make. I'm just saying. It's not the same like when you get raped, ladies. There's no hotline or support group for that. When a man gets raped in our culture, you just gotta get up, walk that shit off like, oh. Got raped. Got a man up about it. You gotta be talking about it. These guys don't really care about each other in America. I can't explain it, but I don't know what a British dude would do. You might, but in America, you know what I mean? In Houston, Texas, I don't know, you haven't been to Houston yet. That's not the shit. That's not. Like, if dudes go out, like, okay, these two dudes might be best friends, right? They're gonna get out, they're gonna say, hey, let's split a cab home, right? They're gonna get, and his buddy gonna be like, he's gonna get out the cab, and before he even get over at the cab might pull off. His buddy's like, where you from? They don't play that shit in Houston. Houston, do be like, hey, man, could y'all, just wait for a minute till I get in the house. And I'll flick the porch lights on and off, let you know. You pull off, they'll be furious. Hey, y'all could have just waited for a minute before I got in the house last night. Man, we was tired, all right? Shit, we had to drop everybody off. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with me? I got raped last night, baby. What? This is American culture. So I can culturally profile these people. The victims. Culturally, I could make an educated guess that the victims of these attacks were white. And not for any other reason except that black people have such a bad relationship with police in America. I don't think they would have called the police. I think only a white person would feel comfortable enough to make that phone call. The way the climate is in America, socially. You know what I'm saying? It's just black people don't call police for anything. I live in a white neighborhood now. My white neighbors call the police for everything. It's amazing. Hello, police? Yes. My neighbor's playing their music very loud, and I need police intervention for this. I don't want to handle this myself. It's fucking amazing. I've heard black dudes getting shot like, oh, call Earl, quick. Time to bring a pistol, some shit's going on. It's amazing. I just can't see that someone coming to the clubhouse. Oh, Earl, what's wrong with you? Oh, I got raped, man. Raped? Yeah, they raped me. Let me use your cell phone, man. I'll call the police so I can fill out a report. Call the police? Fuck that shit. Nobody raped somebody in our crew. We're gonna handle that shit ourselves. What do you mean we're gonna handle it ourselves? What you trying to do? I tell you what we're gonna do. We can go to their neighborhood and fuck somebody in their crew in the butt. Then we'll club out and be like, yeah, fuck that. You gonna get them motherfuckers. That's when I walk in. Hey guys, what's going on? Dave, Earl just got raped. Raped? Oh, they got me, Dave. Yeah, man. We can ready to go to their neighborhood and fuck one of their crew in the butt. That's when I had my boys in the hood moment. I can't get in that car though, boy. What? You just gonna let somebody fuck her and you ain't gonna do nothing? Hey, listen, man, all right? I got kids and I got family. I'm famous, all right? I got shit to lose. I can't just be raping people every time I want to settle my differences. Why don't we just call the police or something? Can't call the police, man. Raped. All right, hold on. Let's just think about this, okay? Shit. All right, look, I got some money, all right? Why don't we just hire some gangsters? Rape these guys for us. Then it turns into The Godfather. I go to Little Italy, pay them gangsters off, and they be driving around the hood. There he goes. Hey, you, come here. Let me talk to you for a second. And the guy be looking like, oh, maybe you want to buy some crack. Hey, what's going on, guys? And then they put him down. Pull his pants down. Pull down their pants. And right before they rape him, he says, Dave Chappelle says hello. And I'm at the opera. And my cell phone vibrates. Hello? It's done. Okay. I told him Dave Chappelle said, you said my name? Not an appropriate joke, I know. Male rape is on the line. It's not rape. It's not funny, but it's so bad that it's. You know what? It's the kind of joke that I would tell in a nightclub, but I would never tell this joke on television. Even though I might, maybe I will. Maybe I will. I have mixed feelings about it because it actually happened. You know what I mean? And I want them 7 victims to be like watching it and be like. And then after I do this show on the television, and I might be doing a concert or something, and I'll be walking in the backstage, and I'll be like, hey, Dave. And the guy be like, Dave. I'm like, hey, man, be like, I'm the Houston rapist. Thanks for the shout out. That's fucking awful, I know. I feel strange about the whole show has been weird for me. But you know why I'm doing it? For sushi. Can I have some sushi money for this? Tonight I am going to have sushi dinner. No, I'm going to go get sushi for myself. Hopefully with some of their money. And do you know why? Because I live in a place in America called Ohio. Ohio is a great place. It's the birthplace of aviation. So they say. The Wright brothers built their little plane there. Our license plate says it's the heart of the all, and our state motto is, with God, all things are possible. However, I'll tell you what's not possible in Ohio is getting a good sushi dinner because it's too fucking far from the water, and that fish be tasting funny as shit. So every time I come to New York, I try to get myself a decent sushi dinner. And I take a picture of it on my iPhone, and I send it to my wife with a little caption that says, "In your motherfucking face, baby." And then she texts me back, LOL, fuck you. You know, we have a funny relationship. We really do. We have a good relationship. As a matter of fact, it's amazing that she's not with me. Because I depend on my wife so much. My kids think I am their brother. It's fucking awful. I'm like, hey, y'all, let's watch some TV. Mom says we can't. Oh, come on. That's crazy. It is crazy. I got, man, don't get me started talking about the kids. You know, one time with my wife, when we argue, everybody argues. But sometimes, like, I'll vent on stage. It's not cool. It's kind of unfair. But it makes me feel good. And one time I was doing that shit, right? And I guess one of her girlfriends was in the audience and text messaged her, and then she come to the show with the kids. But I didn't know. It was an early show. So, but then I seen her, and then I seen the kids, and then, you know, I had this ego thing. So now I feel like, well, I'm not backing down because the kids are here. They're going to have to learn somehow. Because now I just don't want, you know what I mean? Switch my shit up. It was crazy. It was the wrong decision. Then after the show, we in the green room arguing, and I say, man, I'm talking all that shit. I don't want to talk about this shit. I'll go up like this, and my car don't start. So now she got to give me a ride home. I get in the car and try to play like I'm asleep. But really, I was awake. I just didn't want to talk about the show. And you know who else was awake? My son, my oldest son, in the back. And I hear him say, "Mom, what is pussy?" I know, I felt awful. And then I had to hear my poor wife explain to her 7-year-old son. It was terrible. She was like, well, whew. I could feel her looking at me with hatred, but I was still faking like this. Well, son, pussy is what keeps this family together. I got so many jokes about them kids. I'm not ready for that, though. I'm ready for that sushi dinner. Spicy tuna, I can taste it. Salmon with the crispy shit on it. I don't know what that shit is. What is it? You're probably right. Tempura flakes. Are you a chef or something? You just can tell. Yeah, sushi's good shit. It is really good shit. You know, like go in a restaurant, you take your shoes off, and then they'll be like, "Sir, put your shoes back on." Oh, sorry. Sorry about that, you guys. I just get into the whole thing like I pretend like I'm I'm sorry, little fellas, because I know you're 19. You got a lot of adventures to get into. That city is calling you. And you're probably too young to remember, but there was a song just about what you guys are going through tonight. And it came out in the 80s. And it goes like this. You belong to the city. You belong to the night. Living in a river of darkness beneath some neon lights. And then there's a saxophone part. That's right, that's right. That's old school. You don't know about music like that. You're 19, man. It's amazing. You don't understand. You grew up with the internet. I'm just figuring this shit out. You got satellite television. You got a phone in your motherfucking pocket. I used to have a cell phone this big. If I talk for more than 25 minutes, the back of it get hot. You got these iPhones. I'm still impressed by that. Have you seen it? That shit is amazing. I could pull my iPhone out in front of Batman. He'll be like, what the fuck is this? Oh, you haven't seen this yet, Batman? I could go 5 years back in time with my iPhone. And when I get back in time, it'd be like, what was it, 5 years ago? 2003. Okay, I go back, 2004. All right, I go back in time, right? Somehow I get access to a time machine. Now I go back in time. It's 2004, and I go to somebody and go, hey, I don't want to get something to eat. Where's a good sushi place? I don't really know my way around. I'm from the future. People are like, you are not from the future. I am too. Where you from? And I pull my iPhone out and say, I'm from 25 years in the future. They'd believe me. But really, I'd be like, I tricked you, motherfucker. I'm only from 5 years in the future. Shit is right around the corner, motherfucker. It's about to happen. I tricked you. I'm only from 5 years in the future. The rape stuff was funnier, Dave. No, I'm sorry, man. I thought that was me. Okay. You guys don't know what I'm going through. I might melt down like Lenny Bruce on this motherfucker. You don't know what I might do. You ever see them old Lenny Bruce tapes? Like at first he's all funny, and then once when he start getting all that trouble, he's I should melt down on the show. How about Joaquin Phoenix? What y'all think about that? That was bad? All right, I watched it, and I watched that whole interview, and I said to myself, Joaquin Phoenix is a fucking genius. That was like the greatest press appearance I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, that shit was... Yeah, you saw it?
Yeah.
What'd you think? Why? He was so what? He was not, no, he wasn't stoned with it. Oh, listen, I've been high. He was in complete control of that situation. You understand? This is how brilliant it is. Basically, what he's doing is resisting every protocol of what it's like to be on a late night talk show. He didn't do any of the banter. He didn't do any of that, hey, good to be here, Dave. I got a new movie coming out. He didn't do any of that shit. He's a completely different kind of celebrity than I am. By design of what he does. He's a fine actor. So you don't know what he's like. Only time you see Joaquin Phoenix, he's in a movie pretending to be somebody completely different. And he's very good at it, so you can't tell what he's actually like. So this is the first time he ever stepped out in front of his work, and he was like, made a point not to be charming at all. How have you been? Good. What are you working on? Music. What kind of music? Hip hop. And then everybody laughed and he goes, is that funny? I said, this guy's a fucking genius. 10 minutes on Letterman, he was on every publication the next day. It was in USA Today. Look how crazy it is. Everyone was talking about, he's a fucking nut. He must have been high or something. Joaquin was probably reading that shit like... I said, this guy is fucking brilliant. And you know who the guest on after him was? Exactly. Who gives a fuck what happened after that? Joaquin won. Check and mate. I said, that's the Mel Gibson playbook right there. Mel Gibson beat the game. Easily. And a move so weird and abstract, I'm surprised no one's done it sooner. This motherfucker made an action movie about Jesus. Check and mate. There's no answer to that. This guy took 20 million of his own dollars, made an action movie about Jesus. And the movie grossed over $1 billion. He made $800 million off a $20 million investment. All in, he probably made close to $1 billion off a $20 million investment. Do you understand what that will do to your life? Do you understand how much money $1 billion personal dollars is? It can't. It's enough money to get pulled over by the police in LA County and jump out of the car like, fucking Jews? What's poppin'? Is everything all right? Police like, you can't say that about the Jews. I can't. Base nigga, I'm in rehab. Game over. That had never happened before. And then followed that shit up with Apocalypto, which was fucking... That movie's great. Have you seen it? That shit is like Mexican Braveheart. That is the best shit I've ever seen in my life. I was talking like that for a week. Taga, 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 cha. Taga, cha. You wanna know why? Because he made a movie, a major studio movie. He didn't use one Hollywood actor in the entire movie. That's not cheap. That's amazing. He got indigenous people from the Yucatan to be in Hollywood. It's amazing. You imagine that shit? Just going to the Yucatan? Let alone going there to cast a movie, just walking up to somebody in a thong. Taga, 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 taga. Have you ever considered acting? Taga, taga, cha. Ika, taga, taga, cha. Well, my name is Mel Gibson, and Passion of the Christ. I've seen that. I'm tell you right now, if I had a sketch comedy show, let me tell you right now, if I had a sketch comedy show, I guarantee you, I fucking guarantee you, I would do the funniest Apocalypto sketch that you couldn't even fucking imagine what I would do. I got an angle on that shit. No, seriously. I got an angle on that shit that's so good, I'm like, nobody do that shit. Saturday Night Live, nobody would think of the shit that I would do. And it's so simple. It's right in their face. If I had a sketch comedy show... Can I have one more cigarette and then I'll leave, I promise.
Rap, I don't want nobody. Rap, I don't want nobody. Rap, I don't want nobody telling me what to do. Yeah, don't tell me how to rap. Funky black. Rap.
But you know what was cool, man? The first time I went back out and did stand-up was in Cincinnati. So it's not far from the farm. I said, if I gotta run, I can get home fast. And clubs sold out real fast. I played a comedy club. And man, when I walked out on that stage and them people were screaming, I get teary-eyed just thinking about it. Because this industry can say whatever they want, but man, people will hold you up. And that crowd, man, my spirits were so low when they was just holding me up. And I hadn't told jokes, but that shit was just coming back like the Karate Kid again. You're the best around. I was just doing it, man. So I don't know how this whole Dave Chappelle thing is gonna end. But I feel like I'm going to be some kind of parable by either what you're supposed to do or what you're not supposed to. So I'm going to be something. I'm either going to be a legend or just that tragic fucking story, but I'm going full throttle. I'm going all the way. I'm eager to find out how this will resolve itself.